Tribe, welcome back. It's me again, Mr. Hall, author, artist, founder, conscious systems architect, ethical kink and taboo content creator and educator, alien, supernatural being, shaman, healer, guide, many different layers, many different titles, okay? It's irrelevant for now, as I'm here to give you confirmation of what you already know or maybe seeking answers for, as well as provide some perception, perspective, and context to this human existence and experience that we're all collectively going through together. As soon as I begin the video, I begin to channel. And something that I'm picking up right out, something that I'm picking up is you returning to a form of purity, you completing some form of spiritual cycle. You may have been going through some form of initiation. If there was any interactions that you may have been concerned about in relation to spiritual warfare or energy vampirism or any corruption with government or corporations that may have been corrupted and associated with corrupted aspects of cults, gangs, cartels, mafias. Okay. Any of that is being resolved. It seems that you have found a way with this new, passing this initiation phase to, you've passed a new point of initiation in your conscious awareness that is now allowing you to be aware, right, of negative energies attempting to penetrate your aura, your vibe, your energetic field, okay? Okay, so the way that I'm picking this up is, so emerging sciences, so you may be practicing or participating within some form of emerging sciences, okay? And something about this motion, okay? So you may be practicing some form of, something about the physiology of matter, okay? This may be a collective, global, macro scale understanding that is being integrated into the collective consciousness, okay, and awareness. All right, I'm also picking up you being outside of a box. You have now freed yourself from some form of limiting belief energetically, or anything that was attempting to constrain, constrict, fragment, okay? All right, you're stepping into a place of fluidity, coherence, lucidity, all right? You may be communicating something creatively as well, okay? And you may be resonating with different frequencies and tones, okay? You may be working with binaural beats. You may be working with solfeggio frequencies. You may be working with the frequencies that work for you, okay? Specifically to your gender identity, your skin color, the way of you, the path of your existence, the path of your resilience, the path of your sovereignty, okay? So something about working with the frequencies of the path of your sovereignty. So we don't practice gender in the oracle or tarot or energetically. It's all energy, frequency, and vibration, okay? So something about collective, the collective, the tribe is already very aware of this. If you're new here and I've already lost you with some of this language, don't worry. The message may not be for you specifically, but do some research, come back, as each of my videos are meant to subconsciously activate you, okay? And if it isn't for you in this moment, share with someone that it may be for, okay? And so, circling back. So, okay, this energy of, I'm picking up Mercury retrograde energy. Something may have been very significant about the most recent Mercury retrograde. If you are in a spiritual practice or circle, that is understanding of the cyclical nature of astrology, okay? All right, or the primordial nature of astrology. Something about primordial astrology, okay? And you may also be getting lots of confirmation. So I don't know if you're stepping into a new form of divination with surpassing this initiation, okay? Something is solid though. You have solidified something within you. If you have formed any type of entity attachments, if you have been practicing any type of occult, esoteric knowledge, okay? Any type of gnosis, okay? Something about gnosis. All right, so you may be looking into theologies as well. something about the cremation of data. So something attempting to be erased and wiped clean. So that purity energy that I was picking up in multiple contexts, I'm getting this. So something may have been being purified from your spirit, from your energy, from your soul. Okay. And simultaneously, on a very practical level, picking up someone attempting to erase data, metadata, information technology, something attempting to be erased from the collective consciousness. All right, so apply that where it will fit for you. So if you're in any legal battles, if you are, or having any issues with legalities or the righteousness, the ethics of something. So I'm picking up ethical. Okay, something about ethics as well. Okay, something about the flow of ethics. So there will be a new flow of ethics to be understood and transmuted. Okay, as you have ascended, not a higher or lower, but a deeper understanding of the awareness. All right, the awareness of what is happening to you, around you, how you are creating that as well simultaneously. All right, I'm also picking up non-human intelligences, so you may be associating, you may have had a near-death experience in the recent Mercury retrograde. In the readings, we don't follow linear time, okay? Okay, so so you may be in a very bubbly mood. Someone may be very bubbly around you. Something may have been a 10-year cycle, okay? I'm also picking up that you're shifting. As you shift your awareness, you're able to shift into the page of life that you would like, okay? Something about shifting into the page of life that you would like. All right, something may have been declined. Some offer may have been presented to you and you could, okay, so you're declining, all right? You're declining this energy of chasing, okay? You're declining this energy of, okay, you're no longer chasing change. You are allowing change to happen, all right? You're allowing change to happen within you. All right, you may be looking into some form of, okay, again, circling back to the physiology that I was picking up, something about new modalities being added to the medical field, all right, new spaces being created, all right, and also something about you shifting timelines as though you're looking through a clipboard or index cardboard, similar to what I have in my hand, and flipping the page. So new indexes are being added into the modalities of medicine, all right, and something about the way we focus as a species, okay? I'm also picking up the happiness index, so if you're looking to travel or move, something about where you will be happy, similarly to where the frequencies and the patterns of energies within dimensions will work for you. So if you are a multidimensional being, a neurodivergent being, an artistic being, a very practical being, a very type A, something about type A personality, someone's name may start with an A, something may be in a state or location that begins with the letter A. Okay, this is the imagery that's coming to mind. Nibu, okay, something about hieroglyphics as well. You may also be learning a new language, light language, Enochian language, okay? Picking up demonology as well. All right, also no goods or evils here. Everyone is welcome and invited. The only requirement is that you allow the energy to flow, okay? We practice omnism and animism on this channel. So something about that, you being outside of a box, a square, okay? Something about sacred geometry as well, coming to mind. So something about stabilizing these new dimensions of awareness that you have been gifted with, all right? In whatever context, okay. In whatever context that would relate to you. And I mispronunciated that word. So context and contact were blended together. So something about the context of contact, okay? So you may have reached into contacting some non-human intelligences. You may have been attaching yourself purposefully or inadvertently to negative or denser energies that were possibly holding you down and feeding off of you more than you would have liked. Excuse me, spiritual burp. If you follow Long Tribe, you know the spiritual burp. Okay. Circling back again. You've spiritually released some. So depending on where you are in the timeline and where you are within your spiritual awakening and levels of awareness and depth and consciousness, okay, you may have attached yourself to some negative entity. This may have been a literal, non-physical form, okay, within a new dimension. I'm picking up Stranger Things, okay? So something about you astral projecting into an algorithm, All right, something significant about that astral projection into the algorithm. You may have become consciously aware of that being a thing, being possible, something becoming possible, and you may have been having something mirrored back to you. Okay, and it may have been very subtle to you. Okay, so stepping into the void is the energy that I'm picking up, and walking through the fire. There may also be something significant about a burning building. Okay, you may have escaped some form of fire. You may have just narrowly missed your some type of catastrophic event. So wonderfully done, and you will know exactly what that is and if it's for you. Something about setting the moon. Okay, and so you were right about some type of angle or approach to take to something. Okay, you were right about some form of angle or approach to take to this newness, okay, or the remembrance of this energy, all right, as you embrace this new language, all right, and you may also practically be learning a new language, all right, being bilingual, trilingual, okay. Okay, you've cracked open a new function. This is how it's coming through to me. 1111 as well. You may have been seeing the numbers 1111. All right, and I believe this reading is going to be 888. The previous post, it was 777. So if you've been seeing 777, go check out the previous one. If you're seeing 888 or 1111, this will be another confirmation that this reading is for you. Also 333. So definitely working with divinity. So angels, demons, angles, sentinels. Okay, working with some type of energies. I'm also picking up archons. Okay, something about archons. So waking up to new layers of manipulation. Okay, and this can be in a positive and negative context. Okay, something about California, North Carolina. Okay, these are places within the United States, the Western world. Okay, I'm also picking up to mention the old world. So you may have been astral traveling to an old world, an ancestral lineage may have been calling to you. Okay, something significant about a bird. Okay, also Egyptian cultures. All right, and cosmic eggs, Aryans. Okay, these are different species that have been notated to be existing among and or with us and within us as well. So also Nibu, Nobu, something, so some Miami, Florida may be significant, or wherever there's a Nobu location. This is a restaurant. All right, so something about maybe you're opening a new restaurant. Okay, you may have been jotting down something in a restaurant. All right. Okay. So you're balancing abundance. You may have been jotting down how to balance the abundance. You may have inherited something as well. Okay. So this abundance can be literal, monetary, all right, and or figuratively, energetically, emotionally, mentally. All right. So you've inherited something that you're now being given the steps on how to utilize that energy appropriately. Okay. Something about real language. Okay. Getting to the truth of language. So maybe looking into etymology. A lot of information about language. Okay. So even information itself being a form of language for you now. Wow. All right, child. This energy feels very pleasant. All right. Someone may so something about pleasant. Someone may speak like that one, that way. Someone may speak that way. Something about like that one. Okay. You may be finding yourself being mirrored a bit. Again, that I picked up that mirroring energy. And or you're mirroring something from a past life. Okay, and a past life can be ancestral. Okay, another dimension, another time, something happening simultaneously to now. Okay, and or a past version of yourself. Okay, some inner child healing, some teen healing, child wounding, any type of traumatic event that you may have been attached to, some type of binding that may have been placed on you in association to spiritual warfare from an ancestral perspective. Okay, I'm finding finding the color of life, finding the color of life that fits for you. What is your color? Okay, something about that. There may have been some context around racism or different perspectives around that, or fetishizing cultures, okay? So you're releasing yourself from fetish, some form of fetish, okay? That may have been unbeknownst to you. There may have been a fetish emerging through you from external energies, okay? And subconsciously, this has been brought to your, okay? Something has been, okay. So you may have been developing some form of fetish, and this may not be in a sexual context. It may be in the form of an addiction that would have been coming from some external source that was feeding upon you, okay? So I'm being guided to mention it to you. But with the Play-Doh, so something about Play-Doh, the actual malleable Play-Doh, all right? So you've turned something into Play-Doh for yourself. You've begun to make something malleable, okay? Specifically flame. So I'm picking up etheric flame, okay? Energy, spiritual energy, okay? Free-flowing energy, okay? Neutrinos, okay? So it's tapping into something that's quantum, okay? Weaving a new quantum reality for yourself, okay? And you being able to recognize how to do this and having it happen, okay? So now, something's happening now, okay? So focus. Something about really focusing on the now, all right? You've released some type of past life, some type of attachment, some type of toxic cycle, okay? And really have learned how to protect and guide your energy into the correct frequencies for yourself, all right? And if you are working with multiple frequencies, I'm picking up layers, okay? 50 sheets of frequencies. That may be something significant. I'm also picking up toilet tissue, ply paper, okay? I'm also picking up egregores, all right? Okay, something being pulled out of your soul, pulled out of your energy, all right? So any type of attachments that were attempting to dig into you are being released and or pulled out by you spiritually and or ancestors or whatever energies or labels that you would like to use within this entire realm of existence currently, okay? That would be significant for someone within the tribe. But you are being granted good luck and blessings, okay? So around your creative energy and what you're choosing to create, okay? Something has been caught by your spirits, your higher self, the parts of you, okay? You've witnessed your reflection of your higher self. And now I'm picking up the energy of there's no going back now. That may be significant for someone, tribe, okay? So there's no going back now, you're here, all right? And I'm picking up the guides, okay? So I'm picking up someone's guides, all right? This one's a bit different. Okay. I'm also picking up gargoyles, okay? So you may have some form of vampiric background, okay? A medieval background. Okay. How would I describe this? Okay, so I'll draw this image. Let me see. Okay, so something about... Okay, so a new power to recognize... Okay, shout out to Shapes in Form. A new power to recognize the shapes of what? The shapes of focus, okay? So recognizing the shapes of focus. I may name this reading for the tribe, this. Okay, something about shapes of focus, all right? I'm also picking up astigmatism, some type of ocular nerve change within you that's allowing you to solidify yourself and this energy into this dense reality, okay? Picking up biochemical reality. I'm also picking up, okay, so the frequency of love. Someone may be of an Asian descent or Asian background. Okay. Okay. Yeah, something is just being heavily cleared from your field. This is beautiful. And it's happening within your subtle energy. So you would notice this. The way you may be noticing this is body sweats. You may be noticing, so almost a detox. You may be detoxing, okay, from something. All right. This may even be a social media addiction. This may be a television addiction. This may be a food addiction. Any form of addiction or overuse or overstimulation of an energy within yourself. And you're able to recognize that now. So wonderfully done. Again, this congratulatory energy that I'm picking up, okay? With you being able to shape the focus. Okay, I'm also picking up you, this is very centered towards the self, okay? So the identity of the self. Okay, interesting. So if you recognize and or relate to any type of gargoyle, or draconian energy, this would be for you. You're learning to cleanse that energy and shape the focus, okay? So really stepping out of a reptilian nature. This is the way that I want to mention it for you, tribe. Stepping out of a reptilian nature, okay? To float. You're able to float. Something about that. Someone may be learning to swim, okay? If you're not literally learning to swim, okay? I'm picking up the energy of swimming with the sharks now. Okay? The sharks are afraid of you now. Okay? You have become the fear. Okay, so if you had any type of fear or concern, it's simply just the imagery that I'm picking up is just smoke and being vaporized. It's just gone. Okay, something is just gone. All right, and with that, all right, if you're making a choice, go with pile 3 or take the third option. Something about the third option. Or third time's the charm, okay? Something about a charm. You may have done some form of incantation, and or if you're, okay, now I'm picking up on ancestral magics, okay? Also something about the ocean, riding the wave, okay, of your ancestors, riding the waves of your ancestors. So you being the ancestor now, okay, and you taking flight by riding the wave. So something about going with the flow of the ethereal nature, all right, of this new focus, okay? The shape, you're reshaping focus. You're reshaping the focus and the purpose, okay? The why. All right, we're gonna go with the animal spirit deck, as I was picking up a bit of draconian energy. So you may be connecting with different animals. I'm picking up feral, okay? Shout out feral tribe. Okay, you may be tapping into your primal nature. You may be tapping into your feral nature. Okay, and giving it space to be honored. And you doing this has allowed you to shift focus and understand that you are in power and control of this. Yeah, the tiger. Okay, someone may be born during the year of the tiger. Something also about triangles and fire. You may be a fire sign as well. Okay, something about alchemical. Okay, so that moon that I was mentioning to you earlier, okay, this crescent moon, that may be very significant to you. Okay, you've earned your stripes. Wonderfully done. You've earned your stripes in the spiritual, okay? In the ethereal, in the astral, okay? And you're being guided to take some type of action. Yeah, you're able to fly into the dark with this firefly energy, okay? You're able to be the light within the darkness, okay? And or you are literally creating the synchronicities that you're experiencing with your, okay. 5 things at once. Okay, so something about that. So you getting so much done quickly now, or more efficiently, more proactively, because you are recognizing that you are creating the synchronicities in your existence. And because this is happening, you're recognizing the light in yourself, and so are others. You're like a firefly in the dark. You may have been seeing fireflies. You may be in an area that has literal fireflies. You may want to look up the spiritual representation of fireflies, right? But what I'm picking up is you are now able to fly in the dark, right? And essentially using that negative space, or, okay, you've removed negativity and now there's empty space to be filled in with ethereal fluid, okay? And you know how to navigate that due to the circumstances that you've recently been through, okay? Something may have been very chaotic, confusing, non-coherent to you, okay? Moving past limited linear mechanical logics, okay? Something subtly took place. You may not have noticed this happening, but others around you may also be noticing it. And so it's being mirrored back to you. So something about the crescent moon, okay? So you may be doing some form of moon magic. There may have been some form of moon rituals taking place, okay? You may also be connecting with fairy spirits. Yeah, the camel. And again, with this moon, something very significant. All right, so something about you left space open for the ethereal fluid to come in. If you were surrounded by darkness in a negative context, okay, oppressive energies, I'm picking up oppression, suppression, okay, if you felt pressured to, right, being like the camel, you're going through some form of drought, being in a desert, okay, this has shifted. You've shifted this energy. You've transformed from the firefly, the bug, into the camel. You have an endless well of resource, and you're not able to recognize this. Also, if you take a look at the background, something about contact, you may have been touched by something. So you may have been waking up with different marks on your body that may have been a form of spiritual attack. All right, if you, for that, you can book a session with me. Click the link above. All right, I will be open to a session for you and with you if that's something that's happening on a other context. Okay, if you've been feeling or noticing any type of spiritual movement around you that is a part of the unexplainable and yet undeniable, okay? Yeah, take a deep breath. Something about your breathing as well. You're able to take a sigh of relief, okay? Yeah, you may have been in a, okay. If we look at time linearly, in the recent past, you may have been in a form of survival mode, feeling that you needed to protect yourself, and you did. And currently you're in this space of lighting up the dark, okay, and showing others and guiding the way, okay? And then in the very near future, you're going to recognize how limitless your energy is. As the camel, the representation in this moment that I'm getting to mention, that I'm being guided to mention to you spiritually, is the well of reservoir, okay? You have a reservoir of new knowledge, a reservoir of knowing, a reservoir of sustenance, liquid, okay, as the hamel. Okay, something about the name Ham or Hamlet, okay, so you may be working with poetry, literacy, again, circling back to language, okay, a new form of literacy is evolving and emerging within you, being remembered, okay. Something about the crescent moon for you too, all right? Someone leave a comment down below if this is confirmation. Also, tribe, wanted to say grid, thank you, appreciation. I'm so glad that we're building the community and the tribe is going beautifully. Okay, something about that as well. You being beautiful in your own way, right? All right, I'm getting some angel answers. Okay, being guided to use the angel answers deck. Yeah, so something is very solidified. All right, as the angel answers name on that box that the cards are withheld in has been engraved. So, okay. So something may have been ingrained into your subconscious, okay? Something broke you down and possibly, okay, I'm picking up forms of recently released CIA documentations, okay, in the US. If you're not in the US, whatever would be the equivalent, MI6, MI7, anything that would relate to different forms of elite government officials, okay? Something may have been being performed on you. You have passed some form of test, okay? So you may work in the military, you may work in specific departments that are not to be mentioned, okay? You may be a part of projects that are coming, yeah, yes, okay? So something about that. If you were having an intuitive nudge about this information, yes. Okay, definitive yes, absolute yes. All right. Many layers, okay. Okay, and something may not be as deep, or so if you had a negative concern, okay, it's being released, okay, with unlikely falling from the deck, okay, because I did, with the many layers, I was picking up different information, and I'm being guided to let you know that you don't need to be in the survival mode anymore. And you may be feeling some form of imposter syndrome. You may be feeling some form of you may be so detached from it now that the language isn't even coming for the word. As for right now, this, okay, the language is not even coming to me to represent the word. It's an energy. You're so detached from a lower based frequency Yeah, you're just saying no. So your energy is just saying no. Your energy is saying no to any lower based frequencies. Yeah, perfect timing in reverse. Yeah, you'll have the time. Okay, if we look at time linearly. Yeah, hard no. Something about hard no. Okay, someone may be participating in the BDSM culture, or stepping. You may be stepping into a dominant role, stepping into your masculine energy, and picking up a lot of masculine energy as well. Yeah, spiritual release. So you've learned how to release when necessary your masculine energy, regardless of your gender. Okay. Okay. And you may be guided to ask for help from others. This may be other individuals, others within your communities, intellectual communities, spiritual communities, diverse communities, whatever part of community would be defined for you, okay? And also, outside of that, these may not be people. These may be things. These may be entities, energies, okay? So your guides are letting you know to ask for help. Be receptive. Okay, you may have also been seeing 111. If you look at other forms or platforms of the channel, I did post something about being receptive, and you're being guided to, okay, your guides are letting you know that they are there for you. All right, so this may be a passed on loved one. Someone's name may have been Ginger, something about Instagram. Okay, I'm also picking up Siberian tiger. Okay, something about Serbia, depending on where you are in the world, tribe. Okay, shout out to everyone in all parts of the planet. Okay, I'll get one confirming card, and then we'll move on. Wonderfully done. Look at you knowing how to fly in the dark. Okay, yeah, you've realized that there's something better. You've realized that there's something better, and you're creating it now. That's beautiful. Okay. I'm also picking up a new pattern of existence for you. Yeah, you're getting out of your emotions with this Princess of Cups reverse, Princess of the Palace of the Floods. You may have been, okay, so that spiritual attack or any forms of negativity being projected towards you where it's in attempts to impact you emotionally, okay, or something may have impacted you emotionally, all right? And it may have impacted the way that you were able to connect and be receptive to specific energies. So I'm picking up the energy of not being receptive to love, as you have not experienced love in a capacity that heals you. Okay? Love may have always hurt you. Something about this. Or this was the attempted programming, okay, or indoctrination. All right? Something you were not able to let something touch you. So this is okay. Something could not touch you because you are love, one, okay? If you're seeing 111, that's specifically for you. Or if you're seeing 1111, okay? Or if you're seeing the number 1. You may also be a life path 1. But circling back, there may have been some type of dark energy that was attempting to penetrate your field of sovereignty, the inner self, the inner realms, the inner sanctum, okay? And this was not able to happen because you are made of love. And in experiencing the maybe something okay, just experiencing very deep layers of darkness, right, in a negative context, all right, because the dark is very good sometimes, right? So something was attempting to be inverted, you not loving yourself, self-sabotage, self-loathing, self-hate, just very dense energies, okay? And you realized that there was something better, and you took action on it, okay? With this fire energy, you took some form of action passionately, okay? And this showed you how to fly, okay? Literally, fire, fly, okay? You let your fire fly. I'm picking up the imagery from the film Carrie. Yeah, you put your logic, okay? You applied some form of logic, okay? A new form of logic, a remembered form of logic, okay? So this is giving me the energy of, hey, you did not need any external validation. You did not need any outside proof from yourself, okay? And since you have graced yourself, I'm picking, see this Medusa energy, okay? Anything attempting to enter your field has turned to stone, right? Has been solidified. It's blocked. It's a hard no. It's become a hard no. Something significant about that, okay? And it may have been difficult for you to say no to something, okay, with this air energy. right? And clarifying the Firefly card. And so I went into the Hermetic, so something about Hermeticism. So there may have been some form of, okay, I'm picking up the Golden Dawn in this instance. Hello to those that are good friends of the Golden Dawn. Um, the corrupted individuals, not hello to you. All right, so the Hermetic Tarot. Okay, you may have been tapping into the Hermetic Tarot. You may have been sainted, okay, and or again passing this initiation through using the logic that was made available to you, being outside of the emotions and being able to rise above in that literal context, okay? Raw, as well as raw, very raw. It was very raw for you. It was a very raw experience, but you are bringing the truth, okay? So deconstructing the real, deconstructing many things that appear to be real to get to the truth. And you were able to do this, and now you have a reservoir, and you know this. Okay. You've learned how to cleanse your energy. You may have done some form of cord cutting ritual. All right. There may have also been something attempting to freeze you in time, in a space, in a way of thinking, in a way of being, in a loop. Okay. Yeah, you brought yourself justice, baby. You got yourself some justice. Beautifully done. Okay, you brought some justice. Wonderfully done. I mean, this energy feels. This energy feels and something about fields. Okay, so you were able to you've accomplished. You maybe you may have multiple degrees. You may have multiple. Okay, I'm picking up Guinness Book of Guinness Book of World Records, which in the States, in America, that would be some high honor for being one of a kind or doing something the best, the most, okay? But you have layers of multitudes that you have overcome. You've reigned sovereign over it, specifically within the self, but this may be also externally. All right, I'm picking up the energy of taking over the world, and this is not in a literal context, and your energy is being felt everywhere. This is happening, so this can be on the collective scale, okay, as we have the scales of justice here. You may also resonate with being a Libra, all right? Again, something about, so a quarter moon and a half moon and a crescent moon, okay? Those moon phases may be significant to you. You may have a Libra placement in your moon sign, all right? Someone may also be an air sign. So double confirmation on the Libra specifically. This is what I'm picking up right now. Something about Gemini as well. Okay. Yeah, you being able to cross water. Okay. So you logically applied your emotions as well to some situation. Wonderfully done. And it brought you justice and is bringing in justice in the very near future. Yeah, a death. Yeah, ooh. Yeah, you deaded something, you killed something, you ended something, okay? And this has led to your rebirth, right? And the truth, an Ace of Wands, confirmation. Yeah, you've gotten to the truth of a situation. It's no turning back. You know the truth, you've got the answer. You're trusting your intuition. You are trusting the non-human intelligences. You are trusting the self, okay? The selves. You are in your flow. Also something about some form of communication. Yeah, there may be no reconciling. Okay, something. Ooh, yep, with this devil energy. Okay, so this is the King of Pentacles. So there may have been a devil energy in a negative context that was attempting, that could have been an earth sign, so Capricorn. Okay, there may have been some form of devil energy that was attempting to balance something out with you, and there is no reconciling. No, you already know your answer. Okay, not attacking any Capricorns. We love Capricorns too. Okay, interesting. You also may have recognized what's been out of balance. Okay, what has been out of balance globally. All right, you have recognized this. You have a deep inner standing of this. This will be a deep confirmation for someone. That's not going to resonate for everyone, but if you know, you know. You know? Interesting. Yeah, so there may have been some death that took place in the recent past. And if we digress to the very beginning of the reading where I did pick up the sirens, okay, you may not have heard the sirens, but there were police sirens going on that I did hear, and representing some form of death or whatever was attempting to attack you, they're having to reconcile now. okay? If there's any group, an individual, some very difficult situation, literal death, okay? It's a process. NDE, you may have experienced a near-death experience as well. You may have had an NDE recently, and or another perspective, simply going through a major rebirth as this cycle has ended, as you've passed some form of initiation. You may work with death, okay? This is healthier aspects of the dark energy, all right? As one door closes, another door opens. And so you have opened a new door into being able to fly with passion, okay? This is very passionate energy. And you know your shit. That's what I'm picking up. You know your shit. Yeah, you know. So this is, I'm channeling a different answer. You know what the fuck is going on. You know what the fuck is happening. So something very significant about that tribe. You're very recognized. So, okay, you yourself are very recognized. So is your energy, your aura, and you are able to recognize others' energies. Okay, so you may be really picking up on this. This, okay, what I'm channeling now, this may not be for the entire collective or the tribe. This will be individuals that are in or practicing of and with. Okay, okay. So you've been granted some form of access, and it's your justice. You've balanced the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies. Wonderfully done. You may yourself be an earth sign, as they are showing up in balance now with temperance, okay? You've reached a neutral point, the middle path, the middle way. Taoism may be significant, okay? And this is the truth, again. So we have justice and the truth. So yeah, if you were questioning if some form of death magic was effective, if you did any form of rituals around this, yeah, you've conquered it. Okay, however that will apply to you. If you have more questions specifically, book a session with me. All right, click the link above in the bio. I am available. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, something about the Ankh. Okay, you've definitely transmuted some energy. Okay. Yeah, you've come out of this hangman. The hangman is reversed. Confirmation. I don't know if you all heard that. It happened in a snap. Something very significant. Possibly also the social media platform. Okay. There may have been some hidden messages there. But either way, with the hangman reverse, you have the Ankh here. Okay. So you've gone back into your truth, okay? And you've connected to this through the Piscean nature, as well as this cross being upside down, representing a different form of energy. But again, the air, you've formed a new oxygen. You've breathed life into yourself. Okay, in this moment, this is how I'm picking up the hangman energy. The spirit of the mighty waters. Yeah, you have effectively and efficiently brought fire to the flame. You brought fire to the rain. Okay? You're working with hot water, boiling water. You've learned how to work with boiling water. Something about being careful if you're cooking something or cooking something up, being more aware. Okay. And with the Two of Swords here, yeah, you've restored peace, and or you are the peace bringer. And however you are choosing to bring peace, that is up to you. Okay. Lord of Peace restored. Wonderfully done. Yeah. Got the camel. You can be in the desert. You got this. Okay. Wow. Sending a few telepathic messages to the tribe. Let me know if you pick up on anything. Okay. I'm thinking of a specific color, and that'll be another confirmation for you. Okay. All right. So practicing some telepathy there. Either way. Next card. All right, and then we'll wrap it up here, tribe. Okay. Something about letting it out. Let it out. Yeah, sending. Okay. I was guided to pull from the Karma Cards deck. Okay, you may be witnessing yourself externally. So something about when you are in the astral realms, okay? Something very significant about traveling astrally, right? You're able to witness yourself now outside of your body, okay? And this is beyond the flesh. You are able to witness yourself energetically. And now that you're able to see your full energy, Saturn has released its reins, okay, of this perceived control, all right? And it does work as a guideline, right, with these limits. You've surpassed the limits of Saturn, okay? Apply that as you will. And now that you have perceived, okay, you have understood and perceived the lessons that Saturn needed to teach you, you have found love in yourself, okay? And this may also be within a partnership, because the next card is Libra. So something very significant about balance, justice, and also the Libra sign. Something significant about Libra. It came up 3 times. Yeah. With your 10th house, success, okay? You're bringing balance to your successes. You've completed something successfully. This is such good energy. And the next air sign, okay, Gemini, that I mentioned earlier, they're both coming up, okay? Something about what you want to be known about your relationships, and something about cherishing responsibly now. All right, you've empowered yourself to appreciate your gifts, appreciate yourself, appreciate the authenticity of you. All right, Tribe? Yeah, you've reached some new form of maturity. This can be literally, figuratively, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically. Okay, you're seeking oneness with all that there is. You've connected to the oneness, the interconnected consciousness, the Akashic records. Okay, yeah, I'm picking up book closed. Book closed. Something about a court case too. Book closed. You've solved the case. Yeah. You took caution and you learned the wisdom from Saturn. Wonderfully done. All right, tribe? Okay, so I'm being guided to end that here for now. Nice. Sigh of relief. Okay. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. All right. If you're not watching this on YouTube, click the link, come over to YouTube, check out the full channeled messages down below. They may have some resonating facts for you. Okay. Kim is saying hello, something about that. The letters K-I-M may be very significant as well. Circling back. Or M-I-K. Okay, something M-I-A, missing in action, but something's coming back. Okay, you may have felt that something was, you may have felt that your spirit was missing. It's coming back, or it's already back, depending on where you are on the timeline. Okay, no more messages for now. So remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click the link above in the bio to check all the dimensions of myself, my products and services. Check out the shorts as well, as I have activated each and every single one of my posts to connect with you or wherever you are within your journey. And you can look into the spiritual representation of anything that I post, okay? In relation to yourself and your personal experiences, and or some questions that you may have about a specific situation. And I've intentionally set them to be a guide in answering those questions. If you like further confirmation, book the session. Okay? No more channeling for right now. All right, tribe. So, Anak Amun, Abracadabra, Ashe, so it is, so mote it be. As above, so below. I will see you next time.